We have liftoff. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. So let me tell you a little bit what I did this week. This week we worked with stick throughout the whole week. Okay. Now, it's fascinating because I kind of went a little bit old school with the stick work, where we really worked with a stick for the entire class. Okay, and my main theme was the reason you're running with the stick or falling with the stick or moving with the stick or swinging the stick is that you're looking for the feeling to become just like your arm. So the same belief I have in my arm in doing something, that I transfer that to the stick. Okay, and I asked students to think about what a good car driver can do with a car. Like those guys in the Fast and Furious, they can make it drift, they can skid it out, they can do donuts with it. Look at what they can do with an entire car. We should be able to do much more with just something as simple as a stick. Okay, we need to be able to make it a part of us, and that takes time, and you need to play with it. And for those guys to be able to do those tricks with the car and to be able to manipulate speed and friction and gravity and all those things that we're talking about, you really need to spend a lot of time with that weapon. Okay, and you need to see it. So, or that tool, if you want to call it, maybe a tool would be better. So I had students working with the stick a long time and developing more comfort as it's a part of your arm. Okay, now, I like to think students are practicing at home, but I don't think they are. That's just honest answer, right? I think people are busy with their lives. So we need to kind of show them the way in training. So anytime you hold a weapon, I don't care if it's a gun, steering wheel, a stick, conventional weapon, unconventional weapon, it is a part of you, just like a coffee mug. I can drink it. It's a part of me, right? It's not separate of me. This is very important. Okay, now the factor you have is you have your subconscious mind who always wants to take over because it's getting efficient, but we need to bring conscious awareness to these details. So the words that you're saying to yourself while you're using a weapon have to bring you conscious awareness of what you're doing. Okay, conscious awareness. And they don't have to, it can be a word that's not even associated with the action. So have you guys ever heard of Pavlov's theory? I'm sure you've heard of this, where a guy associated feeding a dog with a bell, and the byproduct was the dog salivated. The dog started to drool, right? So he would give the dog a treat and then ring the bell. Give the dog a treat, ring the bell. And after a month, he just hit the bell and the dog would start to salivate with no treat, because subconsciously the dog connected the bell with food. So he started to drool. So that bell was a conscious thought that triggered a subconscious thing, right? When you're dealing with a weapon and people start attacking you, the subconscious will panic. It's not like a pleasant thing when a person points a gun at you or tries to stab you. It's not something that you'll like. It will panic you, and you have to say to yourself something that, like that bell, that will trigger the response that you want. Okay, it makes sense. Otherwise, your body will start to fall towards the negative. It'll start to fall to panic. Right now, it's not just martial artists. All athletes suffer from this dilemma. It's a form of anxiety, performance anxiety. Okay, so when you're dealing with the stick, part of it is knowing how to hold it. Part of it is knowing how to work with it like your own arm, as not worry about it, just like your own arm. And that takes time. Okay. And by the end of class, the last half hour, so they spent almost an hour getting comfortable with the stick, all kinds of ways. I'll show you some of them and then you can maybe practice them. But ultimately, you want to be able to work with the weapon with a person. In other words, a person is coming at you hand to hand or with a weapon, and you have a stick or you have whatever weapon you choose, and you're able to work with the person, not break them, but you're able to work with a person like your own bare hands. It's the same. It should be no difference. Okay. So does that sound like a plan? You guys see that? Please don't look at a stick as a weapon anymore. I want you to see it as a tool just like your own arms, the exact same thing, like your own arms, and you need to develop that kind of comfort with them. Okay, make sense? Okay. Questions before I get started? No? Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me set this up a little bit. So, okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so first thing, right? Hold the weapon in your hands, right? And just start to move it within your hands. So don't grab it, but any part of your hand, right? Even between your fingers, right? Any part, right? So it can be from your wrist up until your fingers, okay? And just kind of play with it in between your hands, right? Try to find the balance, but without grabbing the stick, how you can work with it, right? So no grabbing, just with that open hands or fingers, right? Any which way, it didn't matter to me, right? But how you can work with it, right? And then you're going to start to see how much movement you can get away with without grabbing the stick. So how fast or how much can I move the stick without having to grab it? Because that's the problem with all tools. How hard do you grab it? How hard do you hold a hammer? How hard do you hold a baseball bat? How hard do you need to do that capability? And all athletes are looking to lighten their grip. That's why they put tape. They put tape so it doesn't slip out of their hands, because they don't want to grab it tight. They want to grab it very, very light. So now we're not even grabbing. We're just kind of holding it in our hands and just move around. Yeah. And then you're going to start to do that same thing between the elbows and the wrist, right? So again, it can be like this, it can be like this, and you just start to kind of move the stick around, right? Just with the forearms up into that place, right? Good. Now grab the stick in the middle now. Okay, grabbing the stick in the middle. Okay. And again, light, not too strong, just as light as you can muster, right? And start to kind of move the stick around you. Okay. Start to move the stick around you comfortably without hitting yourself, right? So I'm staying very still. Okay. And I'm trying to see how I can rotate the stick and also around myself. The trick is to obviously not hit yourself and be comfortable moving it all around, like all around you, right? And if you watch my hands, guys, if you watch my hands, it's like I I can open, I can cause the movement of the stick, not so much from my shoulder, but from how I hold it in my hands, how I'm manipulating my hands, right? I try to think about my fingers and my wrist, how not my shoulder, right? But I'm working mostly with my wrist, right? See? Open, close, right? You see what I'm doing, guys? Can you see how I'm open and close? So in order for the stick to move freely in my hands can't be trapped. They're not locked, but they're actually quite loose, right? I want to be able to do those fancy tricks that the guys can do on those cars. I need to be able to understand how to create motion and how to control that motion. Okay, guys, good. Now I want to start to bring my entire arm into life. So as I start to move the stick towards my arm, right? And what I'm doing now is I'm gonna send it back. I'm gonna send it back, right? And the focus here is on moving the stick with my hand in this hand, and then moving it with my elbow, or moving it with my shoulder, or moving it with my hips. So I can move it with my hips, I can move it with my elbow, I can move it with my shoulder, right? So I'm pushing the stick back to where it came with the shoulder, the elbow, or the hip, one or the other on that side, right? Awesome, guys. How did it feel? So I can only encourage you to please play with the stick more, but the goal here is not to get good at playing with the stick. The goal is to build comfort. Once you build comfort, you feel comfortable. let somebody come at you, attack you somehow, punch, kick, grab, knife, other stick, it doesn't matter. The trick now is for you to be comfortable with this weapon, to be able to work with it like your hands, exactly like your hands, okay? You see how I feel comfortable right away how to work with my hands, right? It's the same with the stick, should feel as comfortable, okay? Really important. So don't get good at stick games. Say to yourself, I just need to get comfortable, and then I need to see when somebody attacks me, can I work like the stick, like my arm? Do I feel that comfortable with it? Okay, this is the other part. Now, because you guys are by yourselves, you're gonna have to try it like this, okay? So you're gonna find a wall, okay? And gotta get you into screen. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna put the stick on a, ooh, I'm gonna go bigger. Yeah. So open hand, okay? I'm pushing into the wall, okay? I'm creating pressure and I'm trying to move around, okay? So I'm trying to find the amount of pressure to push into a wall, but still allow me to move. Now, in class, we did it with two partners, okay? So one person was pushing on one end, one person was pushing on the other end, and they all moved around. The wall was not gonna move on you now, right? But you can move the stick down, you can move it as long as it doesn't fall, right? You can move the stick and start to see how much pressure you need to apply to push in, right? No, guys, watch me for a sec, watch me. So you should always feel this part of you, okay? So your stomach, even though I'm pushing with my hands, look at my shoulders. Everything is calm, okay? I'm pushing from my stomach, okay? I'm not pushing from my shoulder. I need my shoulder to be relaxed. I have my weight pushing in, okay? My weight is pushing in, all right? So it doesn't matter where I am, I'm always pushing from my weight, not my shoulder, okay? So it doesn't matter. Your shoulders, if you want to operate with a weapon, your shoulders need to be relaxed, okay? Good. So come close, guys. So the hidden message here is the hidden, not the hidden, what you can't see, only you can feel, okay? That's why I have to explain it to you, is that I'm pushing in with my weight, okay? But what now is I want to study how to push into the wall or my partner without trying. I want to push just with my weight or my intention or my relaxation. I need to relax into this, okay? So if somebody, if I have some pain here, right? So let's say this stick skewers me here, right? Um, I need to teach myself how to get away from this pain, not how to give it attention, but I'm trying to figure out other things that are relaxed to get out of it, okay? So when I'm pushing into the wall here, okay, I'm pushing into this wall, I need to find the motion. Like right now, I'm using my arm. See the nice relaxed motion of my arm? What you can't see is that I'm putting weight forward and it's going into the stick. So it goes in, it comes off. It goes in, it comes off. It goes in, it comes off. I'm not pushing with my shoulder. I'm studying how I put weight on the stick. I take weight off the stick. Put weight on the stick. So I should feel pressure coming onto the stick with any motion I make forward, and any motion I take, I feel it off, right? But you're not trying. This is just your body weight. Try, see if you can find that feeling, okay? See if you can find that feeling. Alberto, do you have a partner there? Is that somebody you can work with? So both of you, if you want, both of you put your hands like that. Both of you put your hands like that. Yeah. Push each other now a little bit, but from motion. But try to find your weight. Don't push the person from trying. Find your body weight. Push with your weight. Yeah, don't lose contact. Like, you both have to keep that stick. You need pressure to be able, and you can move it all around. You can move it all around. Yeah. 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 And you can switch hands. You can switch hands. Yeah. So Alberto, that stick represents your collective disagreement. When you fight with people, when you're yelling or you argue, or the reason you're fighting, that's the stick. It requires pressure for it to work. Both people have to yell at each other, then that becomes alive. Alberto, try this for me, okay? Both of you guys, try this for me. I don't know if it's hard to show. Put the stick on your hand again. Put the stick on your hand again. Okay. So what I want you to do is, don't push the stick, but I want you to lift up your foot, lift up your knee. Okay. When you place your knee down, I want you, exactly as you place your knee down, to push into the stick. Exactly as you place, push. Exactly as you place, push. Yeah. Try to push your partner. Sorry, you're kind of freezing up, so I don't know if you're hearing what I'm saying. It's kind of, and push towards him. Miro, watch me for a sec. So as I'm here, right? If I make a punching motion, I should feel the weight coming here. If I make a kicking motion, I should feel the weight going down the stick. I'm not pushing the stick, I'm kicking it, right? Awesome, guys. Okay, come on for a second. This is so difficult. I wish this is a class of feeling, and it's very difficult, but I'm trying my best to kind of show you guys. When you throw a punch, everybody knows that the power comes from the body. It doesn't come from the shoulders. This now allows you to check, can you come from the body, or it's coming from the shoulder? Where do you feel it in the body, right? The next one I want you to try is this, right? Where I put the stick on my stomach, okay? And I check, as I'm punching, as I'm kicking, can I keep the pressure the same? Do I feel this part? I need to always feel this part. I don't feel my shoulders, I don't feel my hips, but I feel like my stomach, okay? Try that if you can, Alberta, with your partner. Put it in your stomach. Miro, yeah. So Miro, play with the pressure. Play with that pressure, right? Yeah. Alberto, you guys can move around. You and your partner, just don't drop the stick. That's the key. Don't drop the stick.
Just, are you listening, Manny?
I hear you. I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, I just put the stick on my chest, on my stomach, and keep a
Yeah.
little pressure and make the movements, right?
Can you put both you and your partner in the picture?
Yeah,
Okay,
my
watch.
son. Yeah.
Okay, son, how are you,
Felipe.
man? So put the stick in your stomach together. Put the stick in your stomach together, okay? Now, I want you, Alberto, to try, blow your stomach out and push the stick into your son's stomach with your stomach. Push it there. Can you feel it? Now,
Yes.
your son should do it back. Try to push with only your stomach. No, don't lean. No, just suck in your stomach and push out your stomach. And try to push the stick into him. Just with your stomach.
Only with the stomach.
Only with the stomach.
Okay.
Try. Alberto, in class this week, I did this with everybody in class. And everybody, when I did this, I put them on the ground just with the pressure. It's like I punched them in the stomach. Just with the push of my stomach and the stick in the other, they fell to the ground, everybody. It's very painful.
That's difficult.
If you do it right. If you do it right.
But it's on the shoulder or more upper?
No,
the chest
stomach. Stomach.
Here,
Only. Stomach. Yeah, that's it. Just stomach.
That's difficult.
Yeah.
Just keep the pressure.
Keep pressure and push out. Like, push it out. Right? Yeah. You see, when I punch, Alberto, when I punch people in the stomach, the punch I give comes from here. My punch generates from here, it's like the stick, exactly like the power comes exactly from my stomach, not from my fist. It seems like my fist, but it's not my fist. Let me give you guys another analogy, guys. Watch me. Have you ever seen somebody shovel? Right? Watch. They put the shovel in the dirt. The power comes from here. It comes from the back, right? That's the power of the punch is from here. It's not the shovel. It's not the end of the shovel, okay? You have to know this is where your power source is, right? Really, you have to know how to work with this. This part has to be.
Could you do it again? We got frozen image.
So can you see my stomach here, guys? I don't know. I'll try to see if you can see my stomach.
Yeah.
You see it, right? There, right? So I let it go in and then I push it out. Now I'm pushing myself back because I have a wall. Some days I'm strong, but I can't move a wall.
Yeah.
And we're all married, so it's like the same idea. I can't push around everybody. So it's like I push myself. When I punch, yeah.
You go.
That's what you want.
Well, I got it. Yeah. Go on.
Okay, good. So now watch me for a sec, guys. I'm gonna take your. So again, all building comfort around a weapon, understanding pressure, understanding accuracy, understanding everything. So here I am by this punching bag I have at the club just here. You can see it, right? So I'm going to put pressure down on the stick. So I'm pushing down pressure with my hand, okay? And I don't know, I put a number to it. I'm going to say 10 pounds of pressure. Just put a number, okay? I have a feeling. Now, when I deliver a punch, I should not lose the pressure here. No pressure should come off and no pressure should come on. I have 10 pounds down here and I deliver a punch. It shouldn't change here. It's the same here. No pressure loss, right? I'm able to develop a strong punch, but not lose the pressure in my hand. Okay, try it. Yeah, any kind of punch, but you should, it can even be in the air, but as long as you didn't lose the pressure here, right? So I'm pushing down and I kick, but I don't lose the pressure. It's the same pressure here, right? Try it. Because with all weapons, when you hold them or when you have them, you somehow lose pressure. You got to always keep the same pressure.
Right. Pressure.
Yes.
Mantenha essa pressãozinha firme e vai.
Good. Now start to move the pressure. So I'm moving the stick, but this same pressure, even though I move it, it's the same pressure. Tomorrow, when you're working with your partner, okay, and you have the stick and you place the stick on maybe the neck or on the shoulder or on the body, you have to feel the pressure. You have to know how much pressure you're putting on, right? You have to teach yourself to be sensitive in how much pressure you're putting. Here's a real interesting one for you guys to try. I didn't show it, but I reminded you. So here's me, right? Here's my stick. I'm grabbing my stick like a punch, okay? I'm pushing down into the floor, okay? Now I'm gonna I'm putting 10 pounds of pressure down, I'm putting 10 pounds of pressure in. But when I hit and I come back, I never lost. So it's down pressure and out pressure. It's two pressures.
Got it.
Okay? I'm pushing down and I'm pushing forward, right? Down and forward. The same, you didn't relax and come back. You put pressure down through the whole punch, I feel down. The whole punch, I feel down and out. Yep. Yep. Try to punch your dad in the stomach with that. Yes. There you go. Good. Now take the stick away. Take the stick away. Now punch the same way without the stick. Without the stick. Punch the same way. Down, pressure in. There you go. Down, pressure in. There you go. Yeah. So the fist, watch me. When you push down, like you have this down, it feels solid, right? It feels solid, right? So when you hit, you realize it need to be stable, right? Like understand the fist, it's exactly like
Okay.
the rifle, right? Yeah, up here it's not stable, right? You need to be stable. Your body needs to be stable to develop power.
Okay,
Do you have
we
a
got
question there, brother? I don't know. You got it? Okay.
it. Yeah, we got it. We have to make the
Okay.
pressure with the stick and have
Just-
to make the same thing without the
So
stick.
for me, Miro, come here for a sec. Sorry, man. I don't see in the picture. Just want to make sure. So in life, I wish I could carry a stick like this around and use it. It would make me life so much easier, right?
Okay.
But what I do is, when I make a fist, I make my elbow very heavy. So I have the down pressure in my elbow, and when I punch, so the elbows are the secret to punching hard is body weight and always punch from the elbow, not from the fist. The elbow is where the power is, okay? There's lots of power stored up here, right? So the downward pressure is from the elbow and the straight pressure comes from my body weight. So the body weight turning, boom, delivers the punch.
So the fist should be relaxed. The fist.
Yes, yeah, right. So I'll give you another sports analogy, okay? Here I am as Sistema baseball player, okay? There I am getting ready, okay? So here I am, okay? Power comes from my body. My elbows, though, my elbows. You see how the elbows provide that power, right? Because there's downward force. So when you're striking, power is from the body, but the elbows is really where the power is coming from. Heavy elbows, heavy elbows. Okay. Once those elbows are heavy, you can generate a lot of power, right? That makes sense, guys? So it's
Yes.
some interesting ways of doing it. Okay. Yeah. Remember, so at the beginning of this, Alberto, I said something, okay, and I want you guys to remember it, okay? Eliminate so that you can illuminate. Okay, I put that in the chat. So eliminate the things. People have lots of punches. They develop lots of different punches, all kinds of all different punches. But really, honestly, we only have one or two that we truly believe in. Okay, they're ones that have worked for us, right?
Right.
Let's be honest.
Got it.
So eliminate the garbage punches, the ones that you don't truly believe in. Just stay with the ones you believe in, right? And those punches will now illuminate. They'll become so much more brighter because you don't mess up with other ones. So try to eliminate. I don't want if I'm gonna punch somebody, they really upset me. I'm not kind of punching somebody for shits and giggles. So for me, it's a matter of I'm gonna throw my favorite punch, and it's the one that lights up everything. Right?
Yeah.
So I
Right.
want it
Yeah.
to shine. I don't want it to make it muddy, right? Um, how many of you have watched the fight with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier in Africa? Has ever watched that? You have a chance, watch that. What made Muhammad
It was
Ali
a lot.
so what made
Right.
what made Muhammad Ali so amazing was that after a big man had punched on him, big man punched on him for 6 rounds. In the seventh round, he finally got a chance to take this big mammoth down. And he could have thrown many punches as George Foreman was falling, but he didn't. And he did not want to wreck the beauty of this big animal finally falling to the ground. And if you watch the last moments before George Foreman fell to the ground, Muhammad Ali could have thrown at least 4 more punches at him, and he didn't. He just let this big man fall. And he didn't want to muddy. He illuminated how great he was. He illuminated it. It was like you really got a sense of how great that man was because he didn't want to muddy. He said, "This is a special moment. Finally, somebody knocked out George Foreman, and I don't want anybody thinking it was a bunch of sloppy punches at the end that did it. I want everybody to see that it was my good punches that took out this big man, not a series of it, right?" And it's a beautiful moment. It really is, and what solidified why he's such a great champion, right? So let the punches you believe in eliminate what you don't, so that the punches that you believe in can illuminate. Everybody can see them. They should be good. They should be with you, right? So you do that by getting rid of all the extra movements, right? So I don't, nothing, no extra movements. That's it.
Just one. Yeah.
Everybody in the world, doesn't matter religion, color, race, can appreciate a good punch if a person deserved it. Everybody should see that. I don't care where you're from. If somebody does something
Yeah,
stupid
sure.
and gets punched, I'm like, good for you, man. Good for you. Anyway, okay, guys, good. You got it. Let me show you some other stuff that I worked with the class for sticks. Okay. Again,
Okay.
we're talking about developing comfort, right? We're talking about developing comfort. Alberto, can you just mute so we don't get all the crosstalk, just please?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So, remember, it's a tool, right? So what I want you guys to do now, start to walk with it, right? And now everybody walks with a stick different. Some people do it like this. I'm kind of older now, so I do it like this, right? But try to find the way you carry a stick. Like, it's no right or wrong. If you had to carry a stick, how would you do it right now? Just show me. Like for me, it's like this, like a cane, but I'm older, right? This is important, okay? Because it shows people how you would carry it, right? Some people like this, some people carry it like this, right? Some people carry it with 2 hands. Some people left shoulder. Some people let it drag behind them. Doesn't matter. And now what you need to do is you need to go to the ground, but the stick has to help you to go down. So the stick helps me go down, and then the stick also helps me get up. Okay, so walk and go to the ground sometimes, and the stick, you have to use the stick somehow, like support to help you down and support to get you up. Okay, guys, watch me. Good, good, good. Now, you have to create a movement with the stick. You have to, so watch, just watch me first. So I like to carry my stick like this, okay? I like to carry my stick like this. So now, this motion has to put me down, and then this motion has to stand me up. So you don't take support now. Now it's a motion. So I swing the stick to go down, I swing the stick to come up. Okay? I swing the stick to go down, I swing the stick to come up. So there, you don't put it in the ground now. Try it. See if you can develop a motion with this tool. Okay, good guys. Let me do some explaining. Come here for a sec. So I'm going to show you with something that's a little bit more of a visible weapon. Okay. So here's my shashka, right? So you can use this via the point. So, right, stabbing, down, in. Or you can use it as a cutting motion, okay? So I cut on the way down, I cut on the way up. I stab on the way down, I stab on the way up. Like, so you're studying how to work with a weapon from the tip and from the sides, okay? When you use a stick to take support, okay? So I take support from the weapon, right? You're studying stabbing. You're studying like stabbing. You take support from the weapon. When you study motions, right? You study how to work with the side of the weapon, okay? Not the tip. So try both of those. Try both. Try to see it like a sword or like a weapon, like real, like a stick is a weapon, of course, but try to see that, right? Yeah. How was it, guys? How was it? Is that your shashka too? Yeah, boy, that's it. You got to work with that a lot. So I'm gonna post the
No, a
video up.
ruler. It's very short.
So
Short space.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you work I did with the kids. Work I did with the kids class with the shashka. It was amazing. It was so good. You have to see. It's nice to be able to work with a real weapon, like something that truly is a weapon, and then also work with things that are not weapons but could definitely be a weapon. Right? A car is a weapon. A bicycle is a weapon. if you do them careless, they can kill people. There's no doubt in my mind. You can hurt somebody bad if you're not attention with a car or with things. So it's easy. Now, do you understand what I said about the point and the tip, right? And the sides, right? When you create motions, right? When you create motions with the weapon, right? Most people are not accurate. You need to be accurate, right? You need to be able to stop it on any given moment. So I don't know how much of your training, guys, is for accuracy, but you need to practice accuracy. So give you an example. I have like a poll here. For me, it's like I have to be able to study how to be accurate, how to cut it thin, right? How to stop when I want to stop, right? How to develop speed, accuracy, right? You see over here, for me, you have to find something like this. Here's a wall with all kinds of lines on it, all kinds of marks from the cement. And I practice coming very close to these. I practice making sure that I'm accurate with the tip, and then I'm accurate with the side, that I know exactly where to touch. I know exactly, it's super accurate. That's exactly where I wanted to touch, okay? You got to practice being accurate with a weapon, okay? It's not an afterthought, okay? Being accurate with a weapon is not an afterthought, okay? So let me recap one more because I don't want to get lost with the main topic here. The main topic that I covered this week was with a stick, and the idea is to get comfortable with the stick so that you can operate with it against somebody attacking you like your own hands, okay? That you don't feel nervous with the weapon, that you're able to touch a person with your weapon without fear of damaging them or without fear of you losing control of it, right? That you feel like you'll do something you regret. Does that make sense? A lot of people pick up a weapon and they don't practice enough with it. So because of that, when they pick it up, they just injure people, or they're worried about injuring people because they don't play with it enough. So you really have to work on any weapon, sword, shashka, speed, timing. You got to be able to find what made you tense and why you weren't able to operate with that weapon precisely, and then keep training. And usually it usually means going slower so that you can go faster. That's the other thing you'll always hear. You want to go fast, learn how to go slow first, and you go fast because you're comfortable. That's where people make big mistakes. They're not comfortable. So because of that, they try to go fast because they're scared or because somebody said so. If it was a car and I told you to go fast when you weren't comfortable to go fast, you know that it's an accident waiting to happen. That's the same thing that happens in martial arts. Don't go fast because somebody told you. Go fast because you feel comfortable and you understand, right? And you know how you know the difference between fast, comfortable speed? Do you guys know what the difference is? There's a milestone. There's a marker. There's a sign that will tell you when you know what it is? Answer, guys. You can just unmute yourself. If you know the answer, tell me. Think about it. Well, why? How do you know the difference between speed that comes from confidence and from understanding, or speed that comes from fear and something else? How do you know?
Keeping your relaxation would help.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no, would help for sure. Nero, any ideas?
I think you're feared. If you're feared about, you're not on control.
Yeah. Okay. So for sure. So here's an interesting perspective. People that are fast, and they're fast because they're very comfortable, and they're fast because they have lots of knowledge, and fast because all of those things can usually slow fast things down. So to them, when I go very fast, it feels like slow motion for me, because speed, you're playing with time. Okay. What looks fast to somebody, in that person is actually quite slow. It's like slow motion for me. And you ever seen the movies replicate that? Have you ever seen in a movie, there's a fight scene and they slow it down? That's how it happens in that person's mind. Does that make sense? Ralph, you're late, brother.
Yeah.
We're just finishing. Starts 11 to 12, Ralph. 11 to 12. You're late. Class is from 11 to 12, brother.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. It's okay. I've recorded it, so I'll post it.
Well, I had meetings.
It's okay, brother. It's okay. It's okay. I understand. Don't worry. If there's
Been a
anybody
while.
that understands, I know if it's anybody that understands, it's me, man. Trust me. There's a lot going on for me.
It's been what, 2 months?
It's good to see you.
Yeah, 3
So,
months or more.
so those people that are fast, because they go from understanding, they can play with time. They're the ones, that's Michael Jordan, who's in the air, who's able to do 5 things with the ball and slam dunk it. That's the guy on Fast and Furious that's able to do donuts with the car and not spill his coffee. He's able to, so when you are fast because you understand, you've done it slow and you're comfortable, you can play with time and you can really, those are the people that you should be worried about. The people that fast because they're scared, they're never in control of time. You'll see their timing is always off. They'll never be exactly there at the right time. They're always kind of rushed, right? So theme of this week is learning how to be comfortable with the weapon so that you can go fast and that everything your hands can do, your weapon can do exactly the same. There's no difference, right? How many of you have ever shot a rifle? You don't shoot it with your finger. You don't shoot it with your finger. Your finger is there, but you shoot it with your breathing and relaxation. Boom. That's what sets the trigger off. I put my finger on. You know what I say to myself? You guys want to know what I say to myself? It's exactly the words I say to myself. Pull butter softly. Pull. You ever tried to pull butter? Your finger goes through it. I want to imagine my finger goes through the trigger like butter. Pull butter through. Pull butter through. The idea is what sets us up. I don't even think about this. If I think about this, I'm sending it left and right for sure. It's not going to be accurate. I mean, I'll hit the side of a house. I won't be accurate, right? So the things that you say to yourself are not about what you're doing. They're about the feeling you want while you're doing it. Does that make sense? I don't tell myself what I want to do. I tell myself the feeling I want because I want the subconscious mind to take over. I want the subconscious mind, boom, to take over. Pull butter through.
All right.
Now you know my secret. Now you'll understand before I shoot what I usually say to myself. You know what I don't want to say? Don't miss. Don't do this. Don't do that. Make sure you do this. Nobody, when you're scared or where there's a lot of pressure, you won't remember those things. If you think about bad things, you'll for sure fail. When you're dealing with a weapon, if you think of any bad thing happening, it will happen for sure. Don't think about that. Think of butter pulling through all the way back. Okay, guys, that's enough. Have a good weekend. I'll post the class up. Thank you for joining me, guys. Hard class to teach because a lot of feeling, but I think you got a lot out of it. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the
You're
explanations.
welcome, Miro. Bye. Ralph, I'll post the class later tonight.
Okay.
And
Bye, everybody.
I'll be in touch.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Nice weekend. Bye.
Bye, you too.